How's it going, guys? David Hedge here, House Hedge Gaming, and today we're looking at a game that during the holiday season you can get all the kids, both young and old, together to try and stop a dragon from destroying a lovely, beautiful kingdom. So let's take a look at Magical Encounters by Mattel. Welcome to the table, and this is how you play Magical Encounters by Mattel. Now, in this game, a group of heroes will go through the land of Eaglegot and find 4 crystals that they must return to the castle before the evil dragon Gadworm takes them away, puts them in the lair, and decreases their health down to 0. Now, we already have the board set up. We have star tokens here. These conceal all the crystals, but also helpful items throughout the game. We have 4 locked doors. Now, these will be unlocked throughout the game to give us access to these realms. We have the dragon ready to move. We have treasures that will be able to go and get through the encounter deck. We have the magic 8 ball to help dictate what's going to happen to us when we encounter cards in the encounter deck. We have our die to where it has movement for both us and the dragon, which we'll go over that one in a little bit. And finally, each player will be getting a reference card for the tokens and for the encounter cards and what those symbols mean. So we have in our party for this 2-player game, we have a hedgehog wizard, which is my personal favorite, and a raccoon bard. So you determine who goes first. So let's say since the little raccoon bard's theirs first, he will take the first turn, or they will take the first turn. So with our raccoon bard, they will roll the die, and there is a 3 for the hero movement and a 3 yellow for the dragon movement, which we'll go over that when it's time for the dragon to take their move. So we can move up to 3 spaces. So let's go 1, 2, 3. The important thing about moving, 2 things. 1, you cannot go through a locked door, and you cannot land on the same space as another player. There's not enough room for one character at a time on those spaces. So you roll a die, you move your hero, and then it's time to perform actions. Now, depending on where you are, depends on what actions you can take. So at this spot here, you have just generic realm spots throughout. These will let you draw the encounter cards here. So let's draw this one and see what's up. So this one, 3 wild boars are arguing over the last apple. What do you say to them? Who's hungrier? Or let's split it into 3. Now, the player to the left of you will usually give you these options, but since it's only me here, I read the card and I'll see what's happening. So let's go with, let's split it into 3s because sharing is definitely caring. So what we'll do here, let's put this right here so you can see it. We're going to consult the magic 8 ball. If it comes up with a check mark, we get the positive result. If it comes up a neutral, then we'll get the yellow result, and if it's a negative result, we get this one. So let's see what happens. Consult the magic 8 ball. We're going to split this into 3s. What do these boars say? The boars say it's, well, that's different. Let's try this again. I'm going to leave that in because that's actually pretty funny. All right, so we're going to do this. Here we go. Signs point to yes. The boars agree to split the apple. So we get the green one here, which the green one is, we get to take one of the treasures from the treasure hoard. So we're going to grab this one, and you get to put this in front of you. This gives you a speed of 5, so you get to use this potion to be super quick and move 5 spaces. Now, thing to remember when you look at your reference sheet, if it has a pinkish circle around it, you can use those on any player's turn at any time. If you have a blue circle around it, you can only use it on your turn. So with this special potion, you're the one that's carrying it. You'll be the one that drinks it. So, but we set that aside. And that effectively ends the turn for our little bard here. But now it's time to move the dragon. Now the dragon, when they move, few things to keep in mind. 1, they will move clockwise to the best of their ability. 2, this number here on the bottom, if it's yellow, they follow a yellow path. If it's blue, they follow a blue path. So, for example, right here, they have move 3. Let's get that back because I'm not going to cheat, at least not yet. All right, so we have a movement of 3. So 1, it's going to follow this yellow path. 2, 3. So that's the way it's going to go from there. That's the dragon's turn. And now we go to the next player's turn, which is our little hedgehog mage right here. So we're going to roll the die and see where he goes. He's also a 3. So let's go 1, 2, and 3. So they'll go there. And we'll draw another encounter card. Actually, what I'm going to do, since I can move up to the number, I'm going to actually, since there's a path right there to this gate, I'm going to see if I can unlock this. Now, a way to unlock these gates is you consult the magic 8 ball. If it's a positive result, you're able to open up the gate. If it's a negative or neutral, then the gate stays closed. So let's go ahead and do this here, and it is signs point to yes, and I guess the sign on this door says it's open. So we're going to flip this over, and that makes it all set to go. So on the next turn, the hedgehog wizard can go through there. So now the dragon moves again 3 spaces. So the dragon will move 1, 2, 3. Now the reason why it didn't move here is because this is like basically like a safe space type deal, and plus the dragon can't really go in there and then go back out, because that's, the dragon's smarter than that. So it goes 1, 2, 3. Now let's go back to the bard's turn. The bard rolls a 4 with the dragon moving 3. So the bard will go 1, 2, 3. Now the bard's going to stop because there's a little token here. So for their action, they're going to take this token, and it's another speed 1 of 2. Now you can have as many tokens as you want in front of you. You can only have 1 crystal at a time though, because you do need to get those back. And now the dragon will move 3, and they're moving 3 down the blue path. So 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's go with the hedgehog wizard's turn. A 3 and a 3. Okay, so that could have been real bad, because if it would have been a 3 on the blue, then this little guy would have been put to the dragon's lair, and this health meter would have been taken down to 1 by 1, and if it reaches 0, we lose the game. So, since this is now open, the wizard's going to go 1, 2, and they're going to stop so they can actually get a token too, because the bard has 2, the wizard wants at least 1, and the wizard found a crystal. Okay, so we got a crystal going. So the wizard has a crystal, that ends their turn, and the dragon will move 1, 2, 3, following the yellow path around the garden. All right, so when you have a crystal, like our little guy does here, we're going to see if we can drop it off. Now, if we can drop it off, this will give us a positive. If it's a neutral, then we just stay there and we can try again next turn. If it's a negative, we need to go around all the way to another castle before we can drop off the crystal. Now, in a beginner game, we can just drop it off, no problems. But this, we're going to make it a little difficult on this little run. See what happens, and it is neutral. Reply hazy, try again. So we'll try it again on the next turn. Now, since we haven't had it happen and our demo time is almost over, this little guy has not done anything to our heroes yet. But if they ever cross the path of any of our heroes, that hero will be taken to the dragon's lair and their health will go down. Also, the speed of the dragon will go up every time a crystal gets revealed. So this should have been up. My apologies. But outside of that, the objective of the game is to drop off your 4 crystals before the dragon takes you to the lair and knocks your health down to 0. And that is how you play Magical Encounters by Mattel. Well, there you have it. That is Magical Encounters by Mattel. And yeah, it's a bit of a kid's game, if you will. But you know what? If you have young ones in your life, whether they're your own children, you got nieces and nephews, grandchildren, this would be a great game if they're into card games, stuff like that. A great beginner game for adventure gaming, because you have games like Heroescape, Power Rangers Heroes from the Grid, Betrayal at House on the Hill, all those, to where it can be a little overwhelming at first when you start like laying out those games, because there's a lot of components to it. This is very simple and an easy concept to go with, to where you're having to explore the realms, unlock doors, collect star tokens, find the crystals, return them back to the castle, all while avoiding a dragon who is really determined to get them back, get you back to their lair. And I think it's just a great concept with the 8 ball, being able to use that to dictate what happens during your encounters. because a lot of games, they'll use die rolling to do it. This one uses an iconic toy that makes sense to actually have this as part of the board game. So, and plus, like I said, this is going to be great, especially around the holiday season. You have a bunch of young ones coming over. You can get them to play a board game for about 30, 45 minutes, even to an hour, because this is a really short board game. Instead of them sitting in front of a TV, ignoring everybody, or just on their phones, watching YouTube videos endlessly. And actually, strike that last part. I didn't say it. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. If you like it, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and let everybody know that House Hedge Gaming is here for all of your gaming needs. So until next time, guys, stay safe, take care, and do your best to avoid the dragon. And don't go back to its lair. They don't really clean up too well.